Sorry.
Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Accidentally Informed podcast where
we can't guarantee that you'll learn something, but you just might.
Okay, well, first of all, learn our names if you don't know us. I am Claudia Jordan.
And I'm Erica Cobb. And I just have to give a shout out to Anthony Buchanan because he is always on top of it. What's up, Anthony? We love to see you each week. Happy Wednesday to you too, boo.
He is super awesome, and he has been a follower and a supporter of this show from day one. It's also, I want to mention this, it's National Autism Month, and he is very vocal about this. He's autistic, and he is amazing. That is my guy, my friend, my buddy. He's just so supportive and so kind. So we celebrate you this month.
Yes, absolutely. I think one, it's just so important that there are highlights and amplifications of autism in general. It's so misunderstood. So I commend you, Anthony, for being a beacon of light and information. We appreciate you.
He is on top of it too, girlfriend. He is like on it.
I know. Miss T too. Hey, Miss T.
Hey. Okay. You know what? A lot of people say, why have I not heard about this podcast? Once they see it once, they love it.
I know.
We got to get out there. Erica, you're going to have to drop a sex tape or something. We've got to get some eyeballs on this show.
Wait a minute. How am I the one that needs to drop this?
Because you're not a man.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see that. Okay.
They might.
Nobody.
They might. I think they would. Y'all good looking couple. Well, I don't see why not.
Well, thank you. But I don't think that's the way to promote the show. But you know what? There are some ways to promote the show because you have me on this group chat. It's a What Happened in Vegas group chat.
Oh, yes.
Without saying too much, because I have heard you on Carlos King's podcast. Check her out on Mondays with Carlos King and Dustin Ross. Y'all are killing it on Mondays. But I was like, Claudia, why you giving too much information? You were given the dates that we were going to be in Vegas. You almost told where we were going to stay. I was like, girl.
Okay, I'm going to tell them where we're staying. We're staying at the Luxor Hotel, the one that's shaped like a pyramid on the other side of the strip. Y'all go stay there, and I'm sure we'll run into you.
We're at the Marriott on Fairmont, so holler at your girls over there. Okay,
I'm so glad you're going to be a part of the celebration. We're going to have so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
I was talking about you. She was like, Erica's so kind. She's like, she right away jumped into like kind of helping with the planning of things. And she's like, she loves you. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love her. I feel bad because you know how when you're on a group chat and then everyone kind of has a different agenda. And I'm like, I don't want to bother everybody with this, but then I also don't want to tell Claudia about it. So let me just go to Chance and see if she.
Oh yeah, just go have a side conversation with her and y'all be fine. Yeah, I totally expect that. It's totally fine. And our Saturday night, we're gonna go out Saturday night. We're gonna go Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But we're going to have a theme. It's Video Vixen night. So we can step out being extra sexy because Vegas is a place you can do that.
Yes.
Right?
I am so excited about this. I might have some tricks up my sleeve for Saturday. So for all of you informers, I think we're calling them the Accidentally Informers. So for all of our informers out there, you are going to get a little behind the scenes because I am going to be sharing some of these images. So just so you know, you're going to be a part of this Vegas celebration as well.
Oh, so if I'm super drunk and you get me on camera, I'm going to go ahead and just sign off on it and say,
no.
Okay, I'm giving you permission.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you say, yeah, like take a picture or take a video, I will do that. But I am definitely, this is like friend girl code 101. When people start getting litty committee, I put my phone away.
Oh, I have no shame though, Erica. So I'm fine. So, I mean, in the past, I'm like, well, what if I ever want to run for office? But after this administration, like anything goes. So you could be a rapist, a molester. It doesn't matter. A hot girl weekend in Vegas will do nothing against my campaign. So we're fine.
Oh my gosh. I think Hot Girl Weekend in Vegas is the least of our problems when it comes to leadership. So yes.
We will get into that in a minute. But let's get into the topics. We have a lot of show today for y'all. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. Oh, this is going to be a tough one right here. Monique went off on Tyler Perry again. This has been a long-standing beef. This is like the little cat and the skunk in the cartoon. This is like Roadrunner and who's the other one?
Wile E. Coyote?
Coyote, give me some other beefs. Tupac and Big, no, Nicki and Cardi. What beefs can rival this? I don't know.
I don't know. Judas and Jesus?
50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather?
It's been going on since 25 BC.
Listen, I thought it was squashed, but it's not. So
I know.
Monique, okay, on the Red Grant in the Morning podcast, Monique called out Tyler Perry's acts of kindness, alluding that he doesn't offer show. Now it stems from Perry's remarks at Angie Stone's funeral. Monique criticized Tyler Perry for expressing anger over Annie's mistreatment by the music industry, while simultaneously labeling Monique as difficult to work with, despite them never having worked together. Let's hear what Monique had to say.
Angie Stone was a warrior. Angie Stone was a fighter, baby. And to watch that man up there be hypocritical over top of my sister, no, sir. You cannot do that, because if it was the other way around, I know my sister would have done the same damn thing. It's like, what you will not do is be a wolf in sheep's clothing. I won't allow that, Tyler Perry. So, and when people say he does such nice things for people, he does. But he's going to make sure you damn sure know about it. He's going to make sure you knew. Okay, then, Red Grant, we knew he had Whitney Houston on the plane. We knew he paid for the girl's house when it burned down. We knew he left a $3,000 tip. It's like, listen, when you do things from here, that's between you and the universe.
Well, first, shout out to Rodney Red Grant. That's where the clip was from. Whew. What do you think, Claudia?
Listen, I have split feelings on this, but I'm going to say this. Maybe I am immature. I'm going to tell you that right now, okay? When I do something major, there's nothing wrong with wanting folks to know. Listen, I remember being at the car wash, right? And there's this little tip thingy that you can put in, and it's before you drive your car into the car wash. There's a guy that scrubs your car down before you go in. He had his back turned to me when I was going to put my little few dollar bills in there, and I waited until he turned around so he could see that Black people tip. I feel like I'm already fighting against that stereotype. So I want to make sure of it. So part of me is like, okay, if I give someone that's homeless money, that's one thing, because it's like you're exploiting them. But I kind of, if I pay for everyone's layaway at Target, damn it, I want you to know about it. I do. I'm sorry. I do.
You know what? I think that there's a balance to this, right? Because I'm quite sure that Tyler Perry has done more than the things that we know about. I'm sure that he's done exponentially more than the things that we know about, and has been doing it for quite some time. I think Tyler is fed up with people being like, oh, you worth so much money and you don't do as much as you could be doing more. So at that point, I don't think that a Tyler Perry's of the world or Oprah's of the world have any choice but to be like, I opened a school. Well, I did this. I fed a country, because people are constantly coming for them, telling them how they should be spending and allocating their personal funds. I know, me personally, I am super fed up. Like, I am somebody who I'll do things and I won't say it. But after a while, you start to get people who honestly forget who was there when they needed something the most. And after a while, you start to feel really worn down by that. Like, I was really trying to do this. I would never have brought this up. But the way you're moving right now, let me remind you of what the truth was behind this situation. So I'm team tell it. I do not care. I'm so sick of people forgetting about people who have actually been there. And generally the ones who are calling you out, who forget what you did, are the ones who haven't done jack diddly squat since jump.
Oh, you're so cute. You could have said jack shit and you went for the diddly squat.
It was a diddly squat moment, Claudia. It was a diddly squat moment.
You mean it when you say diddly squat.
Yes.
I would like Tyler Perry to give me some better Wi-Fi, because my Wi-Fi keeps freezing up. I'm so sorry. I'm going to make sure this is good. Next week, I'll be in a hotel. So I'll be janky next week, but the week after, I promise. I know I'm supposed to get that together. But then again, I do see some people say this, and I do believe, hey, A2T. I want to say shout out to you, because of you and you reviewing our show.
Yes, A2T.
You brought a nice batch of people over to our show. So
yes.
Thank you. Please review us again, and we will shout you out every single week. AT2 does great commentary on YouTube. He used to talk a little bit of shit about me, but now we cool, so we good. So we good. No, but he does some good breakdowns. So just go ahead and follow his page as well. Okay, so I did see a comment that I think was from him saying Monique is right, but wrong time. And there's also, I don't think either one is right all the way and either one is wrong all the way. Monique is right to feel the way she feels, because if that's your friend, you're going to feel a way like, well, how come you still, kind of don't see it for me? Like, I get what she's still hurt over what they had going on, and she has every right to still feel hurt. I think this is going to be a beef like that is just never going to go away. And people have given us other suggestions, Tom and Jerry, Ja and 50 Cent. I mean, it's going to keep on going.
Well, I brought up Los Lounge because, Los Lounge, love. The clips that Los Lounge produces are amazing. Thank you for always having our back. This is Monique's greatest role. He says Monique versus Tyler. I think at a certain point, if you don't learn to squash the beef, then the beef will consume you. And it's not going to be basically, to me, it's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at this point, it's just going to be something that's erosive to Monique's soul, because at this point, it feels like the beef is a little one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we've heard anything from Tyler Perry in response to this. I think there comes a time, like, I've thought about the way that I've kind of lived my life, and I've been in my feelings about things, and then recently I realized, like, some of the things that I was in my feelings about, these people or names or situations come up, and it's like I never even knew them. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, my therapy is working. Thanks, Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Spirit is amazing. I need to call her for my many issues, but there's some things with people that I haven't let go, because I look at them like, I think there's a big difference between someone making a mistake and then a character flaw, right? There's two different things. Like, if you make a mistake and it's not a pattern, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't realize I hurt you like that, or it was like not of my usual character, I think you should be given grace for that. If it's something that you continuously do over and over again, I don't rock with you. And I'm like Cardi B, we got beef forever. So I think from Monique's point of view, she looks at it as like, you are the one that have crippled my career. You are the one that have been in the way. You are the one that have deemed me as an angry Black woman and have hindered me getting other work. But I think when she keeps the beef alive, it like kind of helps his case, even if she has a good point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think also people have to remember, just in general, people's memories are very short. Like, our attention spans are short, and so are our memories. So when we thought that this was all ending and it was kind of a kumbaya, to us, we thought it was over. But when she reminds us of what it was, then it starts to reflect, we're looking more at the source more than the person that the finger's being pointed at. So it's a reminder that this was the case at some point, and it continues to apparently be the case, but now it appears only to be the case on one side. Mm-hmm. So I would say, like, you have to get to a place, for anyone, you have to get to a place where you have to learn to forgive and forget for yourself. Mm-hmm. But you can also stay on high alert about people. If you and you start to see patterns with people, like, there are certain personality types that you just can't rock with, because in the past it hasn't ended well for you. And when you see that personality type coming in a different body down the street, to cross the street. I mean, utilize that for the future people, and then lay the beef to rest.
And I like Monique a lot. We've had conversations on the phone, and that's my girl. I've interviewed her, and Tyler Perry also called me after we covered him on this. And after I interviewed Monique, he called my phone. He found a way, got my number, and we had a 45-minute phone call, and he shared things that I don't want to put on blast either. Right. So I like them both, and I wish they could really have a real conversation where they both felt heard and they can both really walk away with the resolve, because it does eat up the person that still appears to be holding on to it. And Tyler looks unbothered. And Monique, I think, Monique, I'm not telling you that you should let it go all the way, maybe publicly, but talk your shit in your group chat with your girls. Be like, and this motherfucker, can you believe the audacity at the fit, and send memes and talk your shit. I'm just being realistic about my advice. I would never sit here and tell you to do something that I wouldn't do. I can publicly be like, yes, we've moved on. We've chosen to agree to disagree. But in my group chat, I'm letting you have it. That's how you do it. And let it go to your friends. Let it go to your friends.
I'm not gonna lie, those group chats be lit.
I just want her to be able to let it go, to heal.
Yeah.
But I would not
absolutely.
tell someone how to feel. Like, I can't tell you how to feel, but I can tell you how to vent.
Right.
Going.
I feel you. I feel you. I like to keep it real cool. Real cool.
Speaking of real cool, let's get into this Shannon Sharpe not getting hot with single women. Why did Shannon Sharpe avoid single women? During his show, Club Shay Shay, Shannon talked about how he steers clear of single women. Take a look.
You know, me, I don't ride the elevator with single women.
Yes,
so
you
now,
cannot do
if
that.
a single woman is on the elevator, I gotta wait.
Wait, why don't you? Because they just get too horny.
No, I don't.
Why
I
do
don't
they
wanna
get
run the risk? Sometimes
run the risk of what?
Sometimes the mention of impropriety is enough to sway people's opinion of somebody.
Really?
So I don't do that.
So if a single woman's going to go into an elevator,
I'm not getting on it.
And what do they think?
I don't let women servers come into my room to bring food.
Really?
If they come to clean the room, I leave the room. I sit in the hallway till they're done. Then I go back into the room.
I know what you're thinking, Claudia. I know what you're thinking.
Girl, bye.
No.
Bye.
I am with Shay Shay all day on this.
Are you really?
Yes, absolutely. And tell your friends and your sons and your nephews. Okay, I am my younger brother is 6'3", I think. He played football in college. He went to the combine. He's a big dude. All right. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, you have to be careful because he's also like a gentle giant. But people see a big black man coming at them and you do not know what people will say. I say take every precaution. And in Shannon Sharpe's case, they're seeing a big black rich man that they could potentially hem up in some way. Why even give someone the opportunity to be able to say anything about you? So that's how I'm seeing it. I know you feel differently or you're seeing it differently. So let's get to that.
I think this is team too much. You're a celebrity. You played ball in the 80s. We all seen you get out of that SUV with those knees barely holding you up. You are big and in shape and very strong looking, but I don't view you as a threat. I don't personally, but I do understand, okay, someone might try to come for me and say things about me. I try to hit on them. No one's thinking that about you, Shannon. Like you've always been very mannerable. I've never heard anything on the streets about Shannon Sharpe being like a pussy hound, being overly aggressive with women. I've never heard any like allegations. I've never heard this. And I just feel like, imagine going through life where you have to avoid single women like they are the plague. He avoids single women for real. He blocked me on social media. And
well, I don't know if it's because you're single, Claudia.
I think he's scared that there may be an allegation. There was a bunch of people in my chats saying y'all should hook up. I'm like, no, but I covered a story of him one time when we came for his makeup. His makeup.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
right. But everyone was talking about his makeup, and that is not a testament of him. That's whoever did his makeup. And I think he felt a way after that. Like he was trying to think. He probably thought I was saying something about him, his character, but really it was about his makeup. And I really used to like really stand for him online. I liked his takes. I liked how strong he was on things when he was in the sports world. I don't know if I liked him as a sports journalist. I just feel like imagine going through life where you have to always worry that everybody is a threat. It's giving Mike Pence. Remember Mike Pence calls his wife mother and he's not allowed to be around another woman unless she's there. That is weird as hell. You're a celebrity. So what do? You not go to parties? You not kick it? You don't go out? You don't hang with?
I don't know, Claudia. I don't know. I have to disagree with you on this vehemently. Yes. Vehemently.
Sometimes.
I gotta really disagree with you. Okay.
I beg to differ.
No, I have to disagree. I know what you're saying, but remember, I don't want to say the wrong name because I don't want to throw this out there, but remember there was a former football player and there was an incident in a lobby of a hotel. And it was basically alleged that this woman alleged that he basically was inappropriate with her, that maybe had some type of a sexual conduct. Informers, help me out. This happened like a few years ago. And then when the tapes came out, it completely, was it Irving? It was someone, it completely like, basically she had made up the whole thing, that she said that he grabbed her. Michael Irving. Yes. Irving.
Michael Irving, yeah, he was former Dallas
Irvin.
Cowboy. Yeah, I just went to his birthday party recently in Dallas. Yeah.
Yes, remember that? And it was like in the lobby of the Renaissance Hotel or something like that. And they pulled the video, and it turned out that the woman was just lying, allegedly. But yeah, so I think that anytime you're a person, especially Black men of that stature, both physically and economically, to me, take every precaution. Don't even give them an inch, because there is an opportunity for someone to take a mile. And I always tell my brother, since he first started college and was playing football, I was like, do not make me have to go. I went to college like a few miles away at DePaul. He was at Northwestern. I was like, do not make me get on the purple line and have to jack some people up. Okay. Because I know my brother, and he is harmless. And if someone says anything different, I'm going to be there. And it's not going to be pretty.
So, friend, how does he meet women today if you're avoiding single women at all costs? But nowadays, you can make an argument that men are making accusations. Look at all the stuff with Dwight Howard. He had a bunch of people come out and say that there was all kinds of allegations of abuse and sexual assault. If that's the case, then maybe your argument should expand to avoiding everyone. If your thing is paranoia about being called, false allegations, nowadays it can come from men and women. I just think what a horrible way to live your life, an unrealistic way to live your life, to be like that. You're so protective about that, but you're the same person, Shannon Sharpe, that went live on a sex tape after allegations came out about your sexuality, but you was on a tape fucking a girl so we could all hear it. Let me tell you how many steps it takes to go live on your phone. Okay. This is why I got side-eye my brother. And I do, like I said, I do like what he does. He's doing his thing. When you go live, right? Instagram, open it up, hit this button right there, slide over to live, find live, press the button, wait for the countdown. So in the middle of your stroke with your badass knees, ooh, Michelle, hold on, Michelle. Ooh. And then as soon as you go live, Michelle. You wanted us to hear that you was beating pussy up because people was trying to put you with your stylist. And instead of, you should have just made a statement, said, listen, it's not true. There's nothing wrong with having a stylist that's gay. He's actually a really good stylist. And leave me alone. Y'all ain't never heard this about me before. But instead, you did a stunt and you went live. It takes so many steps to go live. I don't believe it. You need more people. And now this elevator thing piggybacks. It's more of that fake. Nah,
I don't know about Michelle. I remember when it happened, but I don't know all the details about Michelle. I'm just saying,
audio of him having sex with Michelle.
I remember. We didn't cover that story because I was on live daytime talk.
Go live right now. How many steps is it? 4.
I know. I'm with you. To me, I think Shannon Sharpe was speaking about single women as in one solitary woman and no one else, not necessarily their relationship status, but maybe it did have something to do with the relationship status. To me, it read as, I am never just a single individual man in a room with an individual woman where there's no one else, no witnesses, no anything. That's how I roll. And I don't think he's the only man who feels that way. And honestly, I do not blame him.
So an overabundance of caution.
Yeah. And I mean, let me be very, very clear. False reporting, although we hear about it all the time, is still a very small percentage of the population, but it's still a large percentage if you're falsely accused. So if that's the way that you're protecting yourself, I say protect yourself.
Well, protect that phone. I think that's an easier thing to do. You can do that right now. I guess my thing is this. Me personally, Shannon, and this is a compliment to him. I have never seen Shannon Sharpe as anything less than a classy, accomplished, successful man. I never seen him as a threat I personally, and I know I'm not everyone, and there may be people that see me, oh, let me lie on him. I get that. In a hotel room, in drinks involved, in an elevator, that most of them have cameras nowadays. I think that's a bit paranoid. And because we just going over a clip, I would like to go. I need to go watch the whole interview. Shannon, you want to come on our show? You want to let me come on your show and unblock me so we can talk about this?
I think you should be on Club Shay Shay. I think you guys need to squash the beef. Informers, let us know in the comments section if Claudia Jordan should be on Club Shay Shay. I think it's time to squash the beef.
I agree. Oh my God, my Wi-Fi is so bad. I'm so sorry. Am I freezing up on your end?
A few times. Michelle over here is saying, Claudia, your Wi-Fi been acting up since TGIF. Somebody must be sabotaging you.
I know. I pay so much money for 2 different systems. I have fiber optic cable and the highest in Wi-Fi. I don't know what is going on. Like, I have everything here. I don't know what it is. And I think I need to move and sell my house. Ever since I moved to this area, they said it's this area that I'm in.
Yeah, because you're not even on Wi-Fi.
No,
you're
I'm
hardlined in.
Hardwire. Okay, I'm so sorry. So, okay. Shay Shay, let's talk and maybe you can upgrade my Wi-Fi for me. I will not put a fake charge on you. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Okay, let's get into this. Cory Booker has made history. It was so amazing. I don't know if you were watching yesterday when he held the Senate floor and broke the record. He spoke for 25 hours and 5 minutes, beating out the previous record of 24 hours and 18 minutes. That was in 1957. Now that speech was that he beat was held by Thurman Strong. I don't say his name. Yeah, old white racist man that held the floor, arguing for 24 hours to keep us segregated. And then the fact that one of the only black senators, male senators, well, one of 2 that I know of, right? 3, 2. A couple senators that are black, right? To do this and break this record. Let's hear what he had to say.
It's not right or left, it's right or wrong. It's not a partisan moment. It's an American moment. It's a moral moment. Does the wealth of our people, we have more billionaires than any other country, does that speak to the greatness of our nation? No. I think the things that speak to the greatness of a nation is how do we take care of each other? I ask you, are you better off than you were 72 days ago economically? I ask that question. Ask it to your friends. Are they better off economically? Well, I don't see how they could be because prices are up, stock market's down, the risk of recession is climbing, consumer confidence is in the gut.
Now that was in protest to the Trump agenda, and it was amazing. And he said his staff prepared books worth of information, and he had more to go that he did not get to. It was a really emotional moment. You have some facts as well. Like he fasted, right?
Right. He fasted. He was very dehydrated because he wasn't able to use the restroom. So that's why he kept sipping water. Also, keep in mind when sometimes we see these filibusters and they're literally reading green eggs and ham. This was a situation where Booker not only read letters from constituents, it was just so purposefully done. And I think the fact that a black man broke the record in such, grand fashion is, is it surprising? Like, is it surprising? But also just the strength and the will. Have you ever fallen asleep standing up? Because I definitely have found myself falling asleep standing up.
Yeah, and I plan to do a lot of that in Vegas as well.
Yeah, the only time that he was able to take a break was when other senators were asking him questions. So imagine that over a full day. Everyone is just so proud. We're so proud. This is, epic history making, and it's coming exactly at the right time.
The fact that Cory Booker did not get the respect I think he deserved when he ran for president and only got less than 5% of the vote, right? I've been watching Cory Booker and Kamala Harris in the Senate for years because I'm a political nerd. I would watch him in the questioning and the Senate hearings, and he's been fantastic. And people try to clown him and say he's a dollar store Obama. They try to insult him. He's not a dollar store Obama. He is Cory Booker. Senator Cory Booker, who, if anything, put a flame under the tails of the Democratic Party. People are saying, oh, why are the Democrats doing anything? First of all, we don't have the votes. So he had all you can do is something symbolic right now. And the fact that he did it on the day that we won the Supreme Court seat in Wisconsin was just the boost that we needed. Now, I know Black people, especially the 92%, we said we're going to sit down and let somebody else fight for a chance. We need white liberals to get in this fight. We're always at the forefront. But our nature is we can't just sit back idly and watch this country fall apart, even though this country has not always been kind to Black people. So for that, I tip my hat to you, Cory Booker, because a lot of us were like, fuck it, we're done. We're tired. But you show us that we can't really be done if we really care about this country. Yeah, we can take a break, but we are needed. I don't know if anyone could have done that speech like him, but I do wish other people would sacrifice their bodies, the hate that they get online, the effort, the energy. This man did not eat or drink, fasted, couldn't go to the bathroom. And listen, I have ADHD. I know an Adderall eye when I see it, okay? And I'm not mad at him because to go 25 hours, you need that. And you got to be focused. I would have to be on it. Let me not put that on him. But he had purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the clips, there's no weak part of his speech. Every speech, like you said, purposeful, meaningful, emotional. And this man needs our respect. And if he can sit there for 25 hours and sacrifice and do that to make us take a stance against this administration, we damn sure can get to the polls during midterms. We damn sure can make phone calls and phone bank and donate and get back in the fold. All this, the Democrats' approval rating is at 21%. That's because no one's even asking us anymore. A lot of us are checked out and haven't even watched MSNBC or CNN because we're so disappointed how y'all helped normalize Donald Trump. We'll be back when it's time. Trust and believe. We're not going to let this country go all the way. But Cory Booker, we salute you.
Yeah.
We salute
Even
you.
after 25 hours and 10 minutes, he gave an interview. Like, I mean, I'm pooped after this show. Like, to keep it all the way 100. It's the tenacity and also the bandwidth. Like, do you know how intelligent you have to be coherent for over 24 hours, for 25 hours and 10 minutes?
I can barely get through this show without
I
can barely get through this show, and it's an hour without stuttering, stammering, repeating myself, messing up, doing that. He was smooth the whole time. Cory Booker, I need the Adderall prescription connect you got, because that's the kind I need to get on the smooth stuff, or it might be white wine. White wine is a mushroom that helps you focus.
Oh my gosh. Well, Claudia, the informers are leaving messages like this. I hear he's single.
He's not. Is he single?
Yeah.
He was with Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
I've heard this for years. People have been trying to make this happen. I've met him before. We have a photo together. I met him at the Democratic Convention. I would assist in this campaign again for America. I would. So Cory, you can hit me up and we can talk about it. But damn, you have some. I will say this, Erica. He has some stamina now. He talked for 25 hours and he's 55 years old. That man is focused. That is a focused man with a lot of energy. And he stood up the whole time. So we got a strong back. And I say that in the most respectful way. And I yield. And I yield to my co-host, Erica Cobb. I yield my time.
I'm going to reclaim my time on that one because it's about to get real disrespectful up in here. We salute you, Senator Cory Booker. Also, we'll be in Vegas for Claudia's birthday if you want.
Oh my God. Are you trying to tell him to come through?
Yeah, come through.
Yeah, come to town and hang out with us. And then come to Dre's and come to the table that we're going to have. Maybe. Yeah, come see 2 Chainz with us, Cory Booker, and just ruin your whole.
Claudia, stop telling the itinerary.
I'm just being facetious. We're not really going to be there, are we?
No, but I don't even know what's going on anymore. Every time you say something, we have to change it.
We'll be at Lunel show on Sunday as well. Okay. We'll have security.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, moving on. Speaking of security, it got real gangsta on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Or did it? Did Britt threaten Kenya with gun violence on Real Housewives of Atlanta? or was she just talking about a gun? There's a clip that's going viral. Let's take a look.
It's a vibe. Hold on, let me find my husband first.
I have so many things though. This is a lot.
I mean, I still got my pistol, so I'm sure we're good.
Girl, Kenny's here. What are you worried? Okay, can I put this in the car?
Kenya, hello, ditzy ass. Like, bitch, play that shit in front of the cameras. Don't play that with me. I don't play them games.
Black girl magic.
I don't play them games. I got whip, pistols, everything.
Well. From Black excellence to some hood rat shit. What do you think about this, Erica?
Okay, so I listened to you with Dustin Ross and Carlos King on Monday, and I know that you guys really went into this deeper than what we're going to. But I really was pleased to know that I wasn't the only one who felt like Britt was team too much. I also feel disappointed, and I know that it's gotta drive Kenya crazy that was the catalyst to her being taken out of the game, because it's very clear on our end that Britt was just doing the absolute most for the absolute most unknown of reasons. Like, it was just so one-sided. It was very aggressive. And I know we're not supposed to say that as Black women to other Black women, but that was aggressive. I mean, you have to call a spade a spade. Yeah. I don't understand it. And to say that you have, let me tell you, because I have gone through several tactical trainings. And the number one thing that they tell you when you're going through weapons tactical training is don't present a weapon unless you intend on using it. Do not announce that you have a weapon unless you intend on using it. Mm-hmm. So in that case, it's like you're talking of not so veiled threat, because in my mind, if you tell me or reference a weapon in my direction, then my training tells me that you intend to use it. Right. So that is a threat. And I hate that everything ended up the way that it did, because ultimately I kind of feel like had things not, and we'll find out next week how Kenya responded. And obviously her days are going to be numbered on this season moving forward. But I kind of feel like had it just been that threat and then there wasn't the retaliation, that should have been enough grounds to get Britt off the show. It's perplexing to me, or suspended or something. It's perplexing to me that Kenya obviously had very grave consequences and Britt didn't. Like, that's what I don't understand about this whole thing.
Yeah. And it's not the first time that Kenya gets held to a different standard than the other people on the show. It's happened several times, and I understand her frustration. It's irritating when other people can commit assaults. They can do all kinds of things. They can put horrible rumors on people, defamation type stuff. And then Kenya's the one that got, disciplined. I like Britt on the show. When I first saw her, I'm like, okay, let's see what this is about. Well, let me just say this. I was open to her. Like, let's see. Like I like the fresh energy. I liked like a new batch of girls being on the show. This is the most amount of episodes I watched in 10 years. Honestly, I haven't watched it really since I left. I watched maybe the episode where Cynthia and Portia got into a fight on a boat because Cynthia called me like, girl, let me tell you what happened. And then maybe like one other time I haven't. So it's been nice to kind of like revisit the show and kind of watch it through like fresh eyes. Like, okay, cool. Like I'm starting from ground zero. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got a clean slate with me. And so to see that was like, Britt, you're a pretty girl. You clearly married a wealthy, successful man. You have all the things. You also managed to get on one of the most popular reality shows that's out there. You're in a good position to trick that off because you think the way to be a good housewife or to get the people talking is to have a moment with one of the more infamous people on the show, the queen, the queen of the show, I would say at the time, especially. It's not the way to go. Your whole existence now is tied to threatening Kenya more, making a comment about a gun. And honestly, I could see where you were like, I wasn't feeling her at the dinner. But like you really took it from you put 10 on 20 because Kenya gave her a hug. And then Britt had an issue with, not a pad.
Yeah.
Listen, that's how people kiss now and hug in Hollywood, the Hollywood scene, or like, even though it's not Hollywood, but TV. We don't really embrace you unless we're like together. Like you do the air kiss. No one's trying to get all this makeup all over each other. Like, I don't think she was shading you. If she was shading you, you would know it. Kenya would walk in and not even pay you dust and not even the fact that she went, oh, hey. The fact
I got excited.
You did. The fact that she went over to her and gave her a hug. She's saying, it's good, girl. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like she just she started it off just like when Kenya made a mention about the 2 rings. Britt got so defensive. I think she's just on 10, like, you ain't about to read me. So she's just on 10. Too much. Your team too much. And then to get to that point where you're like, fuck, bitch, this and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't time for that. She didn't do enough to justify that reaction.
Well, and also I think, you have a personal relationship with Kenya. I only know Kenya from the show and like red carpet interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when on the red carpet side, and I know people say like, oh, it's the red carpet and people act a certain way. No, people are who they are on the red carpet. Like some people can kind of, put on an act, but people very much are who they are on the carpet. And Kenya is a very generous person in terms of like, how she speaks openly and she's engaged. And that's not something that you fake. So to me, I feel like based on what we know on the show, and this is from me not knowing Kenya personally, if Kenya wasn't messing with Britt on a real level, she never even would have extended a hug.
Yeah.
So that's how we see Kenya's behavior historically on the show. She's not one to fake niceties.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's embracing you, it seemed to me as an average viewer that she really did not have any issue with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it like first of all, it's incredibly unsettling because everyone's been in a situation where there's like one person is trying to kind of diffuse or just move about their business, and there's someone who's committed to having a problem with them. It is so annoying and unnecessary. So I'm not saying that I know a lot of people are feeling some type of way and are saying Britt should be off the show. I'm not even saying that. I don't know what the situation is now with Kenya. I hope that she comes back. I hope that we get to see her because I just don't see this being worthy. And I mean, we don't know what happens the next episode, but whatever happens the next episode, I mean, it has to be at least in line with what happened this episode. So why is one there and the other isn't? And how much, honestly, how much good favor do you have to give to these situations? Like, I am tired in this situation for Kenya. I know people have gone back and forth on this, like, well, she's been the villain of the show. And I'm speaking 100%. I know Claudia has a totally different relationship as the average viewer with no ties to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I am so sick of the Kenyas of networks being responsible for having to bear the brunt of all of the backlash.
Right, everything's their fault. Like, well, she provoked her. Well, she made her do it. She made her do this and that and the third. It's always that.
It's very much good for the goose, good for the gander type situations to me, because you want Kenya when she's team twirl and gone with the wind. And then when she does, like when she apparently took things too far, it's like, just make it equitable. Like if it is too far, then make it equitable. What we saw on Sunday was too far.
Absolutely. And here's why I would lean towards, and she's probably gonna get mad at me, and I hope she doesn't shoot me, but I'm leaning towards, and I don't like seeing people lose a job. I don't, right? Unless they're a total bitch. And I don't think she's a total bitch. I think she's just emotionally immature. And also she maybe have been misinformed about what makes you a good housewife and what makes, and I think that a lot of that comes from social media, right? We think the most ratchet you are or the bigger gesture you do, that's how you become a star. That's how you get the people talking. But like, look at Angela Oakley. She's coming in kind of under the radar at first, and she's subtle and she's shining now.
Mm-hmm.
And Britt could have done the same thing. To me, that interaction at that dinner table was a stress test. If that little bit of uncomfortability, if that's even a word, made you go from 0 to 100, then you don't belong on reality TV. If all it took was you feeling shaded by a pat as opposed to a full-on breast-to-breast hug, and that's what really bothered you, and then you're like, you trying to have a moment, and then Kenya says, I am the moment, and still had a smile, I think you realized you were getting read. you felt you were losing, when you feel like you're losing the battle, you're
Yeah.
scrambling, you got to come back with something. And that's usually when people get extra vulgar, say something nasty about you, or threatening, or talk about you being broke. But if you can't keep it cute, jab for jab, and read her with something else, I think that shows that you're losing right now in the moment, and you're scrambling. You're worried about the viewers right now. You're not really in the moment. And I think that's what happened with Brittany. I think she got caught up, and she was like, oh shit, I'm getting read down. And she just went too far. Even her husband was trying to tell her to chill, like, let's get your mic off. And he was trying to actually be a protector to her, like, yo, come on, like, relax. And she was still carrying on the parking lot, I think probably to an empty parking lot. When someone, like, the camera's on you and it's not on Kenya.
Yeah.
Yeah, bitch. And what we ain't gonna do and what we not about to do and fuck all that. And Kenya probably already gone. She already in Porsche's Rolls Royce. They down the street, girl. They already are down the street. They are already at STK having a good kiki about this. I don't even believe for one moment that Kenya was still in the vicinity, because they would have went back and forth with the cameras.
Yeah.
I think that was just putting on for the cameras, and you will fuck yourself up putting on for the cameras. Worry about the moment. Stay in the moment and work it out. Britt, I think you overreact. And yes, people go, you only have 1 year. Yes, I have 1 year, but I have 51 and a half years of life experience to know that you were triggered and you scrambled and you panicked and then you went too far. Listen, take that shit somewhere else. That gun talk is not for Bravo. Okay. This is a Bravo show. This is not the right network for that kind. That is not going to elevate you here, honey. It's not.
No.
And I hate to see it, because like I was excited about this new.
I know. Yeah, I really do think it's like the audience that you want versus the audience that organically is there. And I can tell you, after covering BravoCon for a few years, it's not the audiences.
No,
it's not.
It's Real Housewives of America watch this show.
Really not. I could just tell you that. And this is from the viewer standpoint. Like, okay. What I really love about just Housewives or this type of reality genre is I do think it's kind of a lesson in human behavior. And so sometimes, you see the same themes that play out from, season to season, franchise to franchise. And what this dynamic, taking even Britt and Kenya out of it, this is what this dynamic is. You have someone who is coming in super hot and bothered. They're going over the top. And then you have somebody who's able to keep it real cool. What that reads to the audience is that the person who's coming in super hot and bothered, while the other one's able to remain their cool, this person, or the person who's cool, is everything that the other person wants to be. Because you can't stand in your truth and in your power if you're rattled by the idea of someone else being there that could be more of something. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, just using this as a launch, that's how it reads to an audience. So if for anybody who might be going on to a Housewives show or something like that, and you want to elevate and you have the other person who's real cool, that's the best time to try to diffuse yourself, because we already have your number on that. So that's just what it is. I mean, I've been studying this for a very long time. I was just on Andy's Girls, which I mentioned you and talked about you, Claudia. And we had a whole thing because they are obsessed with you over there on that side of, and I was like, I'm here. Like,
oh no,
I was like, I'm the little sister, I know. And then my sister goes, now you see how I feel. I was like, it's great. I love it over here. So yeah, just so people know, I mean, that's really what the audience is picking up on.
You're right. Like, whoever maintains, like, people always talk about the scene with Nene and I. Nene's hilarious. She's funny and she's quick with it. The only way I think that I was deemed the winner of that beef, whatever. And we've since squashed it. I don't want this to reignite anything.
No.
She's giving me my props. I've given her props. Her podcast, she's killing it. Her show, like, that is 10 years ago. The reason why I feel like I excelled in that scene is I always maintained control of my emotions. I wasn't rattled. Nothing she said made me go, what, bitch? And when you start doing that, like, people are taking you out of your element. And when
Mhm.
when I see someone getting emotional, I get that like smirk on my face, like, oh, I got you. I know I won. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you're angry. You know what I mean? Like whoever maintains control of their emotions in argument is going to win. Now, Brittany, this was episode 4. Maybe y'all were shooting together for 1 month at the time. Well, let me not say the word shooting, filming with each other for 3 weeks, a month at that time. You have a lot more season to go. And if you're that triggered by that little thing, can you imagine how turnt she might possibly get? At the reunion is when they really come for your neck. And that's what would concern me about moving forward. Being at the
Well,
reunion.
I definitely I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm a little bit sad to see, what's going to happen next, because obviously we know that Kenya's not going to be on for much longer. I will say about the feud with you and Nene, or the back and forth, why that was so iconic was because you were both on the same level and remained on that same level the entire time, like in terms of and trust me, I get so into this stuff that I go on podcasts and we break down like psychologically human behavior, like, and this is the blah, blah, blah. So that's why in my purview, that's why that was so iconic, because you were the newbie and your energy matched. Like, she was comfortable, you were comfortable, and it was a volley back and forth and everybody loved it. That's the reason why we always talk about it.
They did. I mean, they did cut about 10 more of my reads, though, just so you know.
We got to find that. We got to find that footage on the cutting room floor.
Release the footage and sell it.
But before we switch gears to something else, we got to bring up former Real Housewife of Atlanta.
Yes, Kandi
Burruss.
She is killing it. So she's a producer in Othello, the Broadway revival starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Oh, sorry, I messed that up. Gyllenhaal. The play has broken Broadway box office records, grossing $2.8 million in 1 week. Take a look at what Kandi said.
And what I would say, what is so special about it is that means it's bigger ticket sales than Harry Potter, than Lion King, all of the big shows that people know about that have made history on Broadway. And not only was it bigger ticket sales, but on a regular week. It was on a week where historically ticket sales are low because, people go on spring break and then out of town, they don't come to New York. But their high ticket sales was during Christmas weeks.
Kandi, yes. I am so proud of this woman. Going back to 10 years ago, actually, I met Kandi way before that. There was a video that I did with Jagged Edge, and here comes Kandi Burruss looking super young. We're all back in the day. We're all so skinny back in the day. All of us, like, when you're in your 20s, you're like frail, right? She was managing. She was working with the group Jagged Edge. And I saw a video recently where she said she wanted to get this award that Queen Latifah got and had all the things like producing, acting, and she wanted to go. And she has kept her word. She is going and going out and getting it. She has always been a woman to me that has been reaches across to other women. How can I put you on something? She wanted to do a talk show with me at one point. She put me on a panel. She wants to collab with other people. And that is why she stays forever blessed. From restaurants to spin-off shows to talk shows to Broadway. And this is a woman that people had, how can you ever say boring, no storyline? Her storyline is her success, her successful marriage, her successful family. She keeps stretching herself and trying other things. Who would have thought a housewife would have the highest grossing a week? And starring to get Denzel. I'm so proud of her. Yes. I really am.
So Kandi's going for the EGOT. Now, she got nominated, was that last year for a Tony? And she didn't get it, but I think this is an absolute shoo-in. I think it's an absolute shoo-in. I am also proud. I do not know her personally, but again, like coming from the journalist side and covering carpets, Kandi Burruss will go the span of the carpet. What that means, people, is that when you go on a red carpet, you see red carpet moments, it starts with like a top billing. So you have one of your top outlets that have their entire crew there. They get the most real estate on the carpet. And everyone wants to stop and interview with those outlets because they're considered the biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time that you get to the end of the carpet, you start to get your independents, your Black journalists, your minority media groups, and people will just blow past the end of the carpet. Kandi will speak to every single person and give every single person time. I have seen her miss the start and middle of events that she's gonna be talked about at because she wants to ensure that every single outlet who showed up for her, she shows up for. Who does that? Kandi does that.
She sure
So
does.
I have to give her props.
Christine,
we have our producer and we have 5 minutes and she's like, you have to get to the lightning round.
Okay, real quick. Christine R says Kandi is legit and humble. She's very humble. And again, other housewives, take a page out of that book. You don't have to be rah, rah, rah. Real success and real wealth is often not the loudest.
Yeah. And I mean, because she is who she is. She doesn't have to fake it.
Nope.
Love Kandi. All right.
Kandi, I need a job. Okay. Okay, before we go, let's get to our favorite segment, a new segment. Well, kind of. Well, we're going to get into this. Accidentally Ludicrous.
What you gonna do? Act a fool.
Okay. Okay. Typically, we get a topic that is straight out outrageous, but there were so many headlines this week that we decided to do a speed round. We have 5 headlines to get through and just, I'll say 45 seconds to discuss each topic. It says a minute, but
I need a noisemaker. I don't have any noisemakers.
Erica, do you have your timer ready?
I have the timer ready.
Could we have 45 seconds on the clock or a minute or whatever we're going to
45 seconds are on the clock.
Okay, first headline. Pastor Marvin Sapp locks church doors until members pay $40,000.
What in the kidnapping in the name of Jesus is going on?
I never would have made it. Never would have made it. That's it. No, thank you.
People saying, I never would have paid it.
Never would have paid it. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Okay. Kanye West says he didn't want to have kids with Kim Kardashian in disgraceful interview in KKK hood. Kanye West. I'm sure at this point she probably regrets having kids with you. You have been an embarrassment. You talked about wanting to have her to have an abortion, not wanting to get her pregnant. Kanye West, your daughter is on TikTok and social media, and I'm sure she sees these harmful things you were saying about her. Cut the shit. We cannot keep giving you grace because your mama died. A lot of people's mama died, and I'm sick of giving you grace because of you had a traumatic incident in your life. We all have, and at this point, I'm sick of it, and I need you to shut the fuck up.
I just want to warn all of these men who have been publicly embarrassing both the mother of their children, but also their children, that their day is going to come. I don't know why they think they're so superhuman. Daddy's out here just completely throwing their whole families under the bus. There is going to come a time where you're going to need them. And you might not see that in your very limited capacity, but you're going to need them. And I hope they drag you the way that you're dragging them.
Put your ass in a nursing home and not take care of you, make you shit in a diaper every day and not visit you. Okay, you'll be playing Scrabble with strangers in a dirty diaper. All right, Georgia father reportedly arrested after leaving his kids in at a McDonald's to attend a job interview.
I'm sorry, I really feel bad about this. I feel bad for him. I don't know what all the instances or what the situations were, but it appeared that he didn't have, did he just not have the support of helping, somebody watch the kids? He was trying to get a job. I mean, you can't be really leaving the 10-year-old with the 1-year-old in a public place. But let's all be honest, okay? We were all latchkey kids, and at 9, 10 years old, we were watching some babies, okay?
Child, my mom left me in the house. We was lighting fires and all kind of stuff, and we was okay. But you know what? If it was in a car, much worse. McDonald's, there's a big playroom. I understand it. And it's sad that it was because it was out of desperation. He needed a job. I think we need better daycare for kids. We should have a place where people are struggling and trying to get money so they can pay for daycare, have someone to watch their kids to get a job. So we're going to give them a little bit of a pass. All right. Student loan borrowers outrage when payments increase after courts blocked a Biden era program. Kids, some of these payments went to double. They doubled. Are you better now than you were 3 months ago, people? Huh? That wanted this bullshit, president?
I told my sister just a few months ago, I was like, if you're able to pay off your student loan, you need to pay it off, because it's just anything that you're able to take care of that's up for in limbo, take care of it. Don't even when they paused the amount for during COVID, this is how I learned my lesson, because I wasn't able to pay off my student loans because, you know, your girl had to file for bankruptcy like 12 years ago. And so you can't pay one bill if you're in bankruptcy, right? So when they had it paused, they froze it and I was paying it off. And then they froze it again during COVID because they froze all student loan payments. I didn't know. So when I went to pay it, when they unfroze it, it tacked on another $3,000 to my bottom line of my payment. So I had to pay it off all at once because I didn't want to pay the interest. So they be playing with your money. And I know a lot of people act like student loans don't exist, because I used to act like the student loans don't exist, but they very much do exist and they do accrue. So make sure that you take care of it ASAP.
And Trump, you are hurting people. I don't know what the bottom line is. I don't know what the end game is to how this is helping America. But these new it's like you sit around all day and think, how else can I hurt the average person? Ooh, let's do this. Let's close the Smithsonian down. Let's double student loan payments. You got to stop and okay, last one real quick. Trump says he's considering a way to serve as president for a third term. I know you fucking lying. We ain't doing this again. I'm mad that I wish you would have won two elections in a row so we could have been done with you. Now it's like we had you, then we got rid of you, then you came back. Right now, you're giving cold sores. That's what you are. You're a cold sore, and I can't do another round of cold sores in my mouth. I never had a cold sore, by the way.
I imagine it's painful, like this administration. So, well, that was our first lightning round. I feel like we did a good job.
Yeah, we'll do it better when I have better Wi-Fi.
Okay, what do y'all think, Informers? Stay tuned. What do you got going on before we get out of here?
I'm leaving tonight, heading to Los Angeles to play Games Women play in LA at the Orpheum Theater Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday we'll be in Oakland. And then we go to Detroit and do it out there. And then the podcast with Carlos. I'm so sorry I didn't mention our podcast Monday. My mind was somewhere else. But I will definitely make sure this Monday. And I'm looking forward to hanging with you in Vegas. What you got going on, girlfriend?
I am hosting one of my girlfriends, my girlfriend Corinne from Survivor. She is also my neighbor, and her folks are in town. And she was like, "Oh, I want you to like hang out with my parents and my brother." I was like, "Okay, cool." And then she's like, "Your house seems a little better to hang out at." I was like, "Are you asking me to host your parents and your brother?" So I am hosting, my husband and I are hosting her parents and her brother, but she's such a kiki. I know her parents are a kiki. I'm really excited because we haven't hosted in a while. Like we love to host.
And you have a great house. When you have a nice house, you want to host because you're like, oh, I need the peasants to come see how I live. Come to my humble abode. Oh, yes, the 20-foot ceiling. Yes. Oh, that art. Oh, that old thing.
Yeah.
45,000.
She's talking about herself.
I'm talking about you.
She's talking about herself. Oh, it's always so good to see you, Informers. Thank you so much for supporting. Tell a friend, and do not leave this without liking. And if you haven't subscribed, you better be subscribing to Accidentally Informed, because we want to see you next Wednesday.
And tell a friend, please. Brag about us. Tell somebody. And inform us of things you want us to talk about. Inform us, Informers.
Yes. We check the comments.
Put it on, girl. Let me see it. Put it on, girl. Let me see it.